The patch 25.1.4 is coming up in a few days and Riot has already revealed most of the upcoming champion changes, so in this video I'll explain every single one as clear as possible without any fillers. I've also added chapters to the video, so if you don't care about a certain champion, feel free to skip ahead. Starting with the buffs, Echo's Q gets an additional 10 base damage at all levels, improving both his early game laning phase and jungle clear. Ashe's Q is now scaling with 1% more AD at level 1 and up to 5% at max level. Her WAD ratio has also been increased by 10% and her ultimate is receiving an extra 50 base damage at all levels. Gangplank is now gaining 4.2 AD per level instead of 3.7, giving him an extra 18 base AD at max level. Jace's cannon W attack speed has been increased from 2.5 to 3.0 to match with the current attack speed cap. Nautilus is gaining an additional 15 AD base damage on his Q at all levels. Sion is getting 4 more base armor, increased from 32 to 36. His HP regeneration is also getting increased from 7.5 to 9. Teemo's poison damage against jungle monsters has been increased from 125% to 145%. Yasuo's critical strike damage is now scaling with 100% instead of 90%. This basically means that his crit damage is no longer dealing reduced damage due to his passive. And with that being said, we can now move on to the nerfs. Starting with Hwei, his passive AP scaling has been reduced from 35% to 30%. His QW base damage has also been reduced by 20 at level 1 and up to 5 at level 4, and at level 5 it remains unchanged. His WE damage per flare has also been reduced by 5 at all levels and is now scaling with 5% less AP. Kalista's W passive now scales with 10% of the target's max HP instead of 14% at level 1, but it still gradually increases to 18% at max level. This weakens Kalista and her bound ally in the early game, which should in theory reduce her presence in pro play. Kog'Maw's Q is losing 10 base damage at level 1 and up to 30 at max level. Its AP scaling is also reduced from 80% to 70%. Lulu's W now grants 5% less bonus attack speed at all levels, and its cooldown has also been increased by 1 second. Twitch and the Axiom Arcanist rune now interact as AoE, reducing its bonus damage by 5%, and Warwick is getting a 10 mana cost increase on his Q at all levels. In this patch, Riot has also made some adjustments to a few champions to fix some specific issues, giving them both nerfs and buffs. Starting with Elise, her human form W has lost 5 base damage at level 2 and up to 20 at max level. Its AP scaling has also been reduced from 95% to 75%. Her spider W got 5% attack speed increase at level 2 and up to 20% at max level. Its cooldown has also been reduced to 6 seconds. Her spiderling base damage has also been increased and it now starts with 10 base damage instead of 8, and it also goes up to 40 now instead of 26. Elise has been very dominant in the support role recently, and while Riot isn't looking to completely remove her from that position just yet, these changes should shift more of her strength back into the jungle. Diana's bonus passive damage against monsters has been reduced from 300% to 225%. However, her Q base damage has increased by 10 at all levels, and her W base damage per orb has also been increased by 2. These changes are aimed at making Diana a bit more powerful in lane and a bit weaker in jungle. And lastly, Mel. Her Q projectile speed has been reduced from 5000 to 4500, and its cast range is now 950 instead of 1000. Her W's reflected projectile damage also got weaker, losing up to 10% at max level, and it now costs 20 more mana at level 1. Its duration has also been shortened from 1 second to 0.75. Her E base damage is up by 5 at level 2 and by 20 at max level. Its AP scaling also increased from 50% to 60%. However, its root duration got reduced by 0.5 seconds at level 1 and up to 0.13 at level 4. And finally, her ultimate is now scaling with 3.5% AP per stack instead of 2.5. Overall, these changes should make Mel a bit less annoying to play against, although I'm not sure if that's really gonna happen. But anyways, let me know what you think about these changes in the comments, leave a like, a subscribe, and thanks for watching.